All right, and welcome to the Big Bucket of Chicken, episode 16. Me, hairy person number 1, and hairy person number 2. How you doing, sir?
I just recently shaved my body for when I went on vacation. So
wait, you shaved a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
What's the status now?
It's growing back. I mean, it's getting there. So.
Now, when you say shave your body, are you talking about your P's and Q's, or are you talking about your back?
Everything.
And who does your back, Kev?
I actually hired somebody to do it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Or was it your wife?
Her name is her name is Osvaldo.
Osvaldo.
Yes.
Senor McClure, we cannot do this. I always French Canadian.
That's always
it's just
French,
my go.
yeah.
I was gonna go Russian and immediately just became a French Canadian.
I think there was a little tint of Russian in there. You did a better Russian accent when we were talking about gulags and stuff like that. But stick to the French Canadian there.
I like the French Canadian.
Yeah, I know. Well, I got a new razor for Christmas, so it was a lot easier this time.
Just like a woolly mammoth.
It was fantastic. I was so impressed with myself.
I trimmed my beard recently. Like last week, I actually for the first time in like 4 years.
Yeah, you look suave. It's well done.
I definitely did a good job myself. I don't trust barbers or anything because
why?
Because when I used to get my beard trimmed once a month, I would go and get my whole beard trimmed, and I haven't cut my hair in years, but I would let him shape me up or whatever. They always go too hard. They go ham. They go hard as a motherfucker. I'm like, hey, I don't want to lose the length so much, and even though I did take a lot of length off this time, but I want it to be like a shape. Don't just make it look like laser lines like everyone likes. I don't want that. And you go, okay, and then just do that.
Do you think they're anti-beard? They're old school.
No, these guys are Russians.
But maybe they don't have. They weren't supposed to have facial hair in the Russian military.
I think they are just two things are happening. One, they're trying to shape my face, and almost like how your mom would dress you as a kid. This fits you good. It's fits me good, doesn't look good. It's not the same thing.
So they think they know what's best for you.
Yeah, and partly
they know who the fuck you are.
And partly, if you've been to a barbershop that's not the cool barbershop, there's cool barbershops, like Zane's or whatever, and it's everyone goes there.
Zane.
All the
that's
fucking
the cool one called Zane.
No, they all have a name with a Z in it, or what
yeah,
if guys go doing it they're manscaping. But these guys are so on the wall is the 1982 Vidal Sassoon hairstyles feathered and fucking almost in Don't Mess with the Zohan when he has the old book and it's where's all the feathering, where's all the highlights, and they're oh that's how you want to look. It's that's the guy from Wham. I don't want to look like the guy from Wham. Can you
Wait, the other guy from Wham?
Yeah,
his name was Andrew or something.
Yeah, whatever the other guy's name is.
No, what I was saying the other day to somebody was I don't like when someone that's near my age or younger than me is cutting my hair. That's fucking bullshit.
Really?
I don't like that at all.
You
I like a guy that's been in the fucking trenches. He's had a barber shop for 40 years.
He's got
my barber's awesome. My barber is this old school Italian guy from Brooklyn. He's fantastic.
I get it.
Yeah.
I understand the psychology of that, where it's
But then down the street, there's a place that's just all these kids cutting hair, and it's just I walked in there and I'm like, what?
But the best part is that statement just says a lot. I mean, I guess it speaks to what I said too. The kids, 25-year-olds, to us, it's these fucking kids.
That's what I mean. But I feel that's my picturing of a barber is that guy grizzled. That's grizzled veteran, not. I wasn't around for most of the time the barbershop was open, but I want to hear about 1957, what it was like. And that's the thing. It's with these kids, it's just they're talking about YouTube and shit like that.
Yeah, they're cutting your hair. It's I used to drink out of the fire hydrant.
Yeah, and I do get that kind of grizzle thing in my head, oh God,
yeah. I
gotta listen to this bullshit. Meanwhile, I'm not that older than them, but I just feel weird. It's this kid that's I don't know. I want to almost say let me see your credentials. I want to look up his.
Where's your diploma from haircutting academy?
Well, I don't even know what you do to get. Well, you got someone. They have something.
Beautician school,
the National Barbers Association, or whatever the fuck it is. But that's the thing for me. It's that's how I feel, and that I know there's other people that disagree with that. But again, that's how I feel. When I walked in there that one time and it was all
children,
20-somethings cutting hair, I'm like,
oh, no.
This is like a clubhouse.
Burger King Kids Club.
It is a Burger King Kids Club. Yeah.
I definitely don't agree. But even with like I said, when I was getting my haircut, clearly I haven't had that happen in a very long time. Even the older guys, they were definitely older. I don't like talking to the barber, when they try. So how's the I don't.
And I want if I used to go to this Russian guy, And I always wanted their names to like match how they talked. So if their name wasn't like Boris or Igor, I was
Vladimir.
like, what the fuck? Yeah, Vladimir. Like, come on. Like his name's Craig. This is bullshit.
I am Steve.
Yeah.
It is me, Steve Smith. I come to this country to cut hair and nothing else, no other reason.
Yeah, like you're trying to sound like Zangief from Street Fighter 2. That's awesome. No, I also too with barbers, like there was one when I was in Farmingdale, I used to, go to this barber and he was really awesome. And then like he hired his cousin, and then like when I go in there,
shitty cousin.
Sometimes he'd be cutting the hair and then I would like have to go to the other person.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to say anything. I felt weird. And then it got even worse because then like they hired like his dad. So then his dad started cutting my hair and he was awful. So I was just like, I wanted to say something, but I just feel like, I don't know, like I defend them somehow.
You could have said, I've seen that happen in barbershops where I'm waiting and the guy next to me is definitely next. He was there when I got there, but he wants that guy.
Yeah.
And I'll take whoever. I don't give a fuck. There's two guys that were there. And he's like, no, I'm waiting for him. You go ahead. And he let me go ahead of him. And it happened all the time where like, a guy would let me go ahead, or two guys would let me go ahead because like, no, we want Joe. We want Joe. Fuck.
That's
Steve.
what I mean. I feel so bad. Like even though they
don't.
But in my head though,
they get it.
In my head, it wasn't a good haircut. It wasn't as good as the other guy.
There you go.
And I still just kept going there
because
it was right down the street.
He let his cousin and his dad. He's like, here, just grab the scissors, just start cutting away. No one's gonna say shit, just like what you did. No one's gonna care.
Yeah.
They're gonna go, oh, thank you, and then go in the car and be like, oh, fuck, I gotta wait.
That's
6
what
weeks
I did,
now.
and I kept going because, like I said, it was right down the street from me. I'm okay now. Like we're square. Me and my barber now. Like we're. It's
haircutting etiquette. Like I just like again, someone who hasn't been to a barber shop in years. I understand it because your whole life you go to the barber, and when you're a kid, your mom would take you and then do everything, so you have to do nothing. And I think for me, this is my experience. Maybe it's someone else's experience. I carried over once I became an adult, and I had to bring my own self to the barber shop. I still have that same like, could someone help me? I don't know what. Just what do you like? Just this, but less of this. Can you take those and then take just some of the hairs off, but not all of the hairs away?
It is nice to go into the barber though, and then hear like the usual. Yeah, then they know what you want.
Well, that's different.
Kind of
I never was that. When I was in high school, from like high school till maybe first year in college, because I just like didn't have any style. I still don't, but I had like literally none. I just got like 2 on the top, 1 in the sides. Just buzz me. Just fucking. They would do a whole 2 and then do the sides and the back 1. Clean me up a little bit. 5 minutes, $6 haircut. I was like, bye, thank you. I don't want to think about hair for another 2 months. And that's just what I did from high school till maybe like first year of college. And I was like, wait a minute. I got to have an identity. And you know what my identity is going to be? Whatever my hair says it is. Look at this shirt and hair. This is everything you have to know about me.
Back in, I think it was like 7th grade or maybe somewhere around that area of time in my life. But I remember going to the barber. And it wasn't the barber. Sometimes when your mom takes you to go get a haircut, you're going to these like shitty places, like girls are cutting your
whatever's
hair.
Closest to home.
It's like Sally's, unisex salon,
unisex
or whatever the fuck
salon.
it is. I remember we used to go in the mornings.
What is the unisex?
Like
so many say unisex. I know they mean like both men and women can come in here.
Yeah.
But is a barber gonna not let a woman? Like, you know what I mean?
No,
I guess a woman wouldn't let a regular barber cut her hair, but like there's no like sign like no woman allowed in here, ma'am. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not even allowed to use the bathroom, I'm told. Like if you're a woman. No, I'm just kidding. That was back in the 60s.
So yeah, continue your story.
60s barber shop. No, but I remember one time going into this shitty place and it was all girls cutting hair again because my mom, I don't know.
She doesn't
didn't
know.
want to take us to the barber.
She doesn't know.
That's fine. So I remember just like, and it was at the time when I was like growing facial hair for the first time, and I hadn't like shaved yet. So like I was starting to really get a lot of like hair. I have a lot of hair. I'm a fat Irishman. So I remember having a lot of hair, and I remember, the woman cutting my hair. She had this like lesbian like hairstyle, like whatever, but she was just very like. I didn't live in the deep south. I lived in like upstate, which sometimes there's confusion for that. But I remember like she was like talking to me, and she was just like she's like, you got a lot of hair on your face there, huh? And she's like, yeah, you're a hairy little cuss, aren't you?
Hairy little cuss.
Hairy little cuss, she called me. And I always remember that. I was like, I never heard that. And I don't think I ever will fucking hear that again.
Does the face match the balls?
You little hairy little cuss.
Does the face match the balls there?
Yeah.
Like, hey, why don't you get down there and trim me up there, Cynthia?
Yeah. No one ever called me a cuss. Anybody ever call you a cuss?
No, as I wasn't born in Nashville. So,
well, yeah, I guess if you go upstate, that there's going to be at least one woman. She's probably still working there, honestly.
Yeah,
this is like 20 years ago. She's probably still working at the same place.
All right, so last thing I'll say about haircutting place. So the place I used to go to in high school was also all women, and they were Russian women. They were like sisters or whatever. They were family. But, every once in a while you go there. So I would go every 2 months, and it was like a local deer park, whatever. It's not there anymore. And every like couple of weeks, there would be a new person. It was either a dude or another female, and they didn't work out because the last time I went after that, they weren't there. And this one woman was there one time, and this had nothing really to do with her hair cutting, but she was like, I always remember her because she was like a manic person. She was talking, just like, they were always talking to everyone in the place and whoever's hair they're cutting. And I think she was like a speed freak of some kind, of coke or whatever. And she kept talking. She's like, and like when she was talking, she couldn't stop moving. She was kind of an attractive older woman, but she like had this face of like a psychopath. Like she was just going, she kept doing like making these facial tics and stuff. And she's like, nicotine churns the stomach acid and coffee. And I was like, yeah, you must know all about that shit. She was like losing her mind. And I just never forget her. She was just like cutting their hair. And like every couple seconds, she was just kind of like, like I was like, are you on the drugs you said you're not on anymore right this minute? Like what's happening here? So
there was a place in the mall when I grew up, and there was a salon, and it was I think it was the first time I ever saw a very obvious gay person. The place was called Hair 2000, and the guy, and I don't know why, but I always felt like the front part where like they greet you was like outside in the mall, like it was like not in the salon.
Yeah,
and this guy would always sit there, and I feel like he had like a tracheotomy or something. Like he had a very like a Harvey Firestein. He had makeup on. And like he would like, it was almost like he was really trying to get everybody that was walking in the mall. Like you'd hear him like no matter where you were, like walking around like, welcome to Hair 2000. Anybody want a haircut? Like he really would.
So it wasn't like a full, like he didn't have a full trick out.
I don't know. Like smoking out of his whole. I just know his neck looked straight. Yeah, but I'm saying like he had like the eyeliner. But did he have the thing
where he had like that voice?
He had that like silk shirt. Like he was like all like flamboyant.
Look at you.
Yeah. But I'm saying, but
Kevin's introduction to the gay community.
The salon name like was perfect for him. Like, welcome to Hair 2000,
sweetie, come on inside. We're gonna make you. Beautiful.
Yeah, so that stuff we were at the time we were kids. We were just funny.
We just offended lesbians and gay people.
But I was a kid. It's through the
lens of a child,
of a young child.
I'm actually
upstate.
I'm actually going to see. And we were just talking about this before I started the show. So I'm going to see a comedian tomorrow. I'm going to see Bert Kreischer tomorrow night in Manhattan. And I was filling in Kevin because we saw Artie Lang a few weeks ago, and I was hoping that because it's Artie and he's in New York, I know it's Long Island, that Dave Attell would open for him. But of course, that didn't happen. He had his opener and he had other people there. But we were talking about like who would open for Bert. Like, it's gonna be Manhattan. Maybe he'll get like somebody like Todd Barry, a New York comedian, to show up and just open for him. And I was saying I think it would be awesome if he had Ari Shaffir open up for him because, and I don't know if you were aware, so. I saw it just today. I was going through Netflix and I was just watching stand-ups, and Ari Shaffir stand-up from like 2017 was on. We saw him in like 2015 or 14.
Yeah, you said that. I don't think I was with you this time.
It was me, you, and Dan, definitely. Dan, our friend Dan. And I remember he was giving out, he was like selling merch, and I bought one of his grinders. He had like a plastic grinder with his face on it. Mm-hmm. And he said, he wanted to write something. I was like, hey, thanks for all the memories. And he went, okay. And he wrote something and he gave it to me. We walked out, we got in the cab, and I looked at it and said, thanks for the BJ. And I do like his stand-up, but the controversy is, and that's why I think it's not going to happen, because he is from New York, too. Back in October, I'm sure a lot of people know this, Ari was doing Bert's podcast in his house, in like his shed behind his house, and his wife and kids are in the house, and he dosed them with Molly, and he didn't tell him. He didn't say anything to him. He just put in his water and gave him a lot, apparently. And so Bert starts having like a panic attack, thinks he's dying, and then he's like, I drugged you, get it? Isn't it funny? He's like, it's not fucking funny. And I think the two of them are good, but his wife hates Ari. And then the whole like community of people are like, this is fucked up. This is not what good people should do, blah, blah, blah. And then, because it was like,
I think it is kind of fucked up.
I think it's funny, but I would not be happy if someone did that to me.
If you did that to me, I don't know what I'd do.
First of all, he could have really got hurt. Like he actually could have like died from an overdose. I mean, he just gave him drugs. I was like, deal with it. Bye.
Yeah. If you ever did that to me, like,
I would never do that. But, and then now fast forward to February, Kobe O'Brien. Kobe Bryant. Oh God,
From the old country.
Kobe Bryant died, and so Ari posted like videos of him saying like he was a rapist, fuck him, he's a piece of shit, all this kind of stuff.
There was a couple.
And I was like,
did that.
look, he was acquitted. You want to what? I don't care. I'm not about Kobe anymore. Shit's over, and let him rest. But it's like he just wants to be like he doesn't care. Like he's like notorious for like just not giving a fuck and just doing whatever he wants and like literally like saying what he wants. And I think that's good as far as a comedian's concerned. Because everyone's going to get offended no matter what. Like, one person in a sea of laughing people can be on CNN in 24 hours. Like, Bill Burr talked about whatever. But I hope he opens because I want to see the crowd. Because as far as, like, New York City, we think we're so, like, we're this progressive. What about, they're the biggest fucking, like, babies in the world. And if he gets on stage, I guarantee it'll be like, I just want to see that. Like, I want to see people just like, no, you did things that I don't agree with.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Ari has his built-in audience.
Yeah, but that's not this audience. Then this is not an Ari Shaffir show. Yeah. So he just like invited him, which again, I don't think it's gonna happen.
I doubt he would.
I just think it would be great to like start your show like that, like this guy coming on stage and just like fighting with the audience, and because and again, the reason I bring it up, I'm gonna go see the show tomorrow. It's gonna be fun or whatever. I like comedians, but I wanted to talk about it because I've been, this is something we've touched upon the show a million times, like people getting offended by, and it's always. I want to say this too. This is not like the times where people. It is. It is like. I guess I don't know what the word is. Like it's more. I guess people are more aware of the offenses, but everyone's been like this forever. Just that now you have a platform, so some shithead in Milwaukee could then comment on like Kylie Jenner's Instagram, which has like 500 to 150 million people, and then it can become like it's like lazy journalism. Like they all of a sudden like CNN or MSNBC can pick it up, and then it becomes a fucking movement.
Yeah.
And I was just watching videos about like you can be. The thing about like the political correctness is the reason why I feel like there's not a lot of footing for even the most admirable of like causes is because the people inside the cause cannibalize themselves. So like I was watching a video, and this is a black woman making videos about like body positivity. She's like a health advocate, and so she constantly is talking about like fat shaming and like where it's wrong, and also where obesity is also wrong. Like if you're 500 pound,
well, it is wrong.
Yeah, but like if you're a 500 pound model going like I'm just the way I am and this is beautiful, it's like you can be okay in your skin, but your bones are rattling in your body. You're unhealthy by definition. You are unhealthy. There's no like species of human that like their norm is like 300 pounds overweight on their skeleton, their liver, and their kidney, and that kind of discussion. So it's like this back and forth. And then she's a reason I mentioned she's black is because now she was talking about like, like black positivity and pro blackness and that kind of stuff. And like, I didn't watch the whole video. I was just like, again, I watch her, I follow her, and just the fighting in the comments of like, even though you're a black person, you can't talk about it's like the thing about political correctness isn't that it exists where like you want to include people in things or you want to not exclude people from things, but the thing itself, there's no like rules or guidelines. It's in the moment. Well, actually, I feel this way, and then what happens is one shithead can then have like 3,000 people. Now they're a fucking group. Now they're a cult, whether they know it or not. And then it just like the topic and the fighting just shifts and breaks off into all these weird things. It's like there is no end to like where it can go and like how shitty it can get. And again, because we're seeing comedian. I know that comedians, whether it's Jerry Seinfeld or fucking Doug Stanhope, deal with like someone being like, I can't believe this happened, and then they have to like answer for it and like apologize. I'm not saying they will, but like people are expecting something out of it or something.
Yeah, I can't pinpoint when exactly this happened, when it started really getting awful.
Well, like I said, I think it's been forever, but it's just social media made it the way it is now. Like,
it's just a general thing now. Like just to throw this out there too. There's this wrestler. He's kind of like a new face. He's actually from Long Island. His name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He's kind of like The Rock. Like he's just like an
shit talker.
He's an asshole. Like,
I like that.
And he stays in character the whole time. So they had like a meet and greet, and this like 7-year-old went up to him.
Oh god!
They try to say like he's trying to snap a photo with him, and meanwhile like the guy's just sitting there at the 7-year-old like flipping him off. It was on fucking TMZ yesterday.
That's awesome.
Like wrestler flips off 7-year-old. Father is not happy.
Oh god!
The father's like, he became a meme and now he's being bullied, like all this other shit. It was like, what era of wrestling do you remember? I remember a guy named Stone Cold Steve Austin flipping off every single fucking person.
Yeah, it was a character.
And plus the whole thing, it's like that's how sensitive everybody is. Like a guy that's like supposed to be a bad guy. You want a picture with a
He's
guy
the
that's
heel.
supposed to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen here? Just because you're 7 years old,
And
he's going to hug you? Like it's not...
wrestling, and he literally is in a character.
Yeah.
Like Macho Man Randy Savage, love the guy. He wasn't that guy.
Right.
Stone Cold, you brought up Stone Cold Steve Austin. You ever watched an interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Yeah.
It's a fucking teddy bear
Yeah.
of a human being.
Right.
Like,
He's not an actual teddy bear?
no, I mean, like I watched him on Hot Ones recently. Like he did that show, and it's from years ago, but I recently watched it where it's like the show where they like eat hot wings and they.
Yeah.
He's like a fucking awesome dude. Like
Yeah, he's
like,
great. He does his own podcast. But that's what I'm saying is like, that's just even one of those things. It's like, how do you not remember that? How do you not remember that that was the cool thing, like to get flipped off by a wrestler?
Yeah, yeah.
Now all of a sudden it's like, why is he doing this? And that's like just kind of a general thing. Another thing I wanted to say too.
It's like not only are things getting out of context. There's like that's what it is too. A lot of for me, it's like this like forgetfulness, this like active, willing, like ignorance of like. I've never seen such behavior like this from a professional wrestler in all of my days on the earth. Like you said, like how do you not?
Yeah, it was
just
like,
do a 5-second Google search.
They
Like,
spent
oh, that's what happens.
15 minutes talking about it on TMZ. Like what I don't know what's going on these days.
And because of this, TMZ is a like news source.
It has been.
Yeah, I mean it's been, but like now it's like legitimate.
I mean, when Kobe died, who fucking broke it? It was TMZ.
TMZ breaking news. Also, some guy farts.
Did you hear about this other thing? So Garth Brooks had a concert recently.
Didn't hear about Garth.
So he had a.
I didn't hear about Garth
You
Brooks.
didn't
But
hear
tell
about
me,
that Garth Brooks concert?
what news are you reading, Kev? Please inform us about
I'm
Garth
reading
Brooks.
that Nashville news.
Tell us. Continue.
So Garth Brooks had a concert in Detroit. Now, I don't know if you know
Old
this.
Detroit.
Yeah,
No,
old
no.
Detroit. So
RoboCop.
in Detroit, one of the greatest football players of all time played for the Detroit Lions. His name was Barry Sanders.
I know who
okay?
that is.
So Garth Brooks.
Why are you talking slow to me like that? His name is Barry.
Because I'm going to
Sanders.
throw another name out there in a minute, and then I'm going to tell you.
Don't confuse me.
differences.
Two
Okay.
people.
Two Sanders.
Two football players. Kev, two's too many. Okay,
And
I'm
spoiler
sorry.
alert, it's not going to be Colonel Sanders.
Okay,
So,
come on,
anywho.
continue. So
Okay,
Garth Brooks.
so Garth Brooks came out in a concert in Detroit
Uh-huh.
with a Barry Sanders jersey on.
Okay.
Twitter decided that, wait a minute, Garth Brooks is a socialist? Why is he wearing a Bernie Sanders jersey? Seriously. They fucking thought that it was a Bernie Sanders. Garth Brooks, who's probably 100% voting for fucking Trump again, came out in a Barry Sanders jersey in Detroit at the place where the Lions play.
Oh, that's awesome.
And people thought that he had a Bernie Sanders jersey on. There was comments like, Garth, love your music, don't care much for your politics.
First of
Are you
all,
fucking kidding me?
it's like hashtag when did Bernie play for the Detroit Lions?
That's what I mean. Like he had a custom Bernie Sanders jersey made.
That's awesome.
Unbelievable that like that's how ridiculous. And that was like thousands of people like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, Garth is a socialist?
That's awesome.
Fuck him. Like how? How does that fucking happen?
The
And it
momentum.
just shows you like how fucking stupid people are.
Irrational and how quick it happens where it's like but so I know and I didn't hear the story. I didn't know about it. I'm going to look it up later. What I know happened though, because this is what happens every single time. As soon as the wrong or the right person made the wrong judgment on that jersey, so did the right person make the right like that's not Bernie Sanders, that's Barry Sanders. But that gets just like drowned out.
I know.
Immediately by just people screaming. So I mean, like in my head when I see it, I read comments, it's just like I imagine like a room full of people just screaming. Like I know I follow a lot of different people on YouTube for various reasons, like it's entertainment or it's informed, whatever. So there's a transgender woman who I follow on Instagram on YouTube, and she has an Instagram, Blair White. I don't know if you guys know who Blair White is. I think I mentioned her on the show before. I like her videos. She does good videos. She's definitely leaning towards the right too, which is interesting as far as like
Right.
That's like her whole like thing.
I
It's
did
like,
look her up after you talked
she's like
about
she's
it.
like very
polarizing.
yeah, well, but not on purpose. I don't think. I think she's kind of like
No, it's just she's expressing her views.
she's like a rational person, and then
Yeah,
people like
but-
lose their mind.
But that's what I mean. I mean, to be rational.
So one of her
to be rational and not in the same wavelength of what people want her to be.
people lose their mind. I
People
get
lose
it.
their minds. Oh wait, you're this and you're that, but you're this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's bullshit.
How can you be this and exactly?
Yeah,
so if
that's
you
how
don't
it
fit
is,
into like what I think you should fit in, it's like the weird anyway. So one of her, she went to San Francisco. This is like a month or two ago, and again, like I watch her videos like sporadically. I'm not like in every video, but they are some of them are pretty interesting. especially when she deals with like people who are like doing that, like freaking out. And she went to and there was just people protesting her because they don't like her just in general. They don't like her, whether they don't like her if she's transgender, whether they don't like her if she's female or she's male. Saying it's like a million reasons why people hate her.
No, I think it's really just more because they hate her because she's,
her views.
She's a fucking
right wing or whatever.
That's
so
that's all it is.
But the best part was, so now there's a woman, like a shaved head, like activist, whatever the fuck she thinks that she is, and her protest is just to scream.
I know.
Did you watch the video?
No, but I've seen.
But I mean, like, literally,
this.
she was walking, just going, into people's cameras, just screaming, and then people are like, "Hey, back up!" And everyone's like, "Hey, don't touch her!" And it just becomes like this. Now you're fighting women. It's like, no, this woman is screaming in my face. This isn't a conversation anymore. It's literally a tantrum.
Do you know that every time a conservative speaker goes to speak on a campus,
it just gets like protested.
Every time, every single fucking time.
I do know that, and I think it's stupid.
And I'm sick of the word.
Whether you agree with them or not, it's stupid.
I'm sick of the words Nazi and fascist being thrown out for every single person.
Yeah.
Can we just stop that now?
They're not going to stop.
It's not going to stop.
Can we stop? The whole world's like,
it is fun to say.
No big bucket.
You fascist.
Yeah, well,
you fascist pig.
Well, my favorite one is an old one, and it was with one of the guys that she liked. Again, they like have like their like little friendly feud. I think his last name's Crowder. I don't know his first name. I forget. He's like a right wing podcast activist, whatever. And it was like a podium.
I know who you're talking.
And I know I'm ruining. I don't know. Remember where it was, but there was a feminist, like a feminist from like the '60s on the podium, and they were protesting her, like because her views, her feminist views from 1960, which are still I think logical and sound, have not like tracked to like 2000s.
I know exactly who you're talking
about.
I don't know her name. But
yeah,
I know
but
exactly
you watched that video. It's a very famous video. I'll post it on the Facebook.
Well, no,
page.
I know that she was on a couple of things saying that people protest me now.
They just scream.
Yeah.
There's no protest. They're just in the audience yelling and screaming. And then when they finally let them ask questions, the question's like, "So how does it feel to be a totally blood-stained hand Nazi?" It's like, "Oh, is that a question? Can you go fuck yourself, you 19-year-old piece of garbage?" Like, go. And that's what happens. There's no discussion. I agree with some of the right-wing people, what they say, as far as like, I mean, I can't think of all their names. Again, I have no opinions, like real leanings. I like whatever makes sense to me makes sense. Whatever doesn't, just doesn't. But I feel like what they do is they like allow these people to show up, and there's like this like scream. I like lost my train of thought for a second there. But what I was gonna say is like, I agree with when they say like, oh fuck, what was I gonna say? Fuck.
What are you, Joe Biden?
No, oh,
yeah, he's getting worse. Did you see like?
No, I don't watch any. Look,
no,
I know people are going to hate me for this, and we're getting close to our 30-minute mark here.
Motherfucker's losing it, man.
I honestly, again, I like Bernie Sanders. I don't like Trump. I never liked him. I didn't like him before he's the president. I thought it was a joke before he's the president. I don't care who the president is, though. I don't.
So here's a couple of things.
Don't give a shit.
Here's a couple of things that. So Biden's like.
What his recent nightmares?
So he's just like, I swear to God, there's something going on with him. So
it's got to be on purpose. He's not stupid.
No. I mean, I think he's like he's mental.
I don't think so. I think it's all on purpose.
How is it on purpose?
I don't know. How is it not?
He's saying these. Okay, so first of all, he goes.
Someone's writing for him too.
He goes. It's great to be running for the United States Senate. They're like, Joe, you're running for president. What the fuck? And then the other day he goes. It's called Super Tuesday.
Obviously. Yeah.
He goes, we kicked ass on Super Tuesday.
Yeah, I heard that one.
Then he goes, then he has his wife and he has his sister on the podium, and he goes, say hello to my sister Bernadette. Wait a minute. Oh, this is my wife. Oh, they switched it on me. He had both of them, and like I guess they switched like sides, and he was just like confused, like, "Oh my!"
I mean, that one,
sister.
That one I could understand because he's like watching, he's reading a fucking prompter, or he's just like, again, they rehearsed it and they fucked him up. No, the other stuff is a little bit odd.
He's fucking.
But I also, and again, I want to. I guess we'll end it. We'll end the podcast, this episode, and this like, I don't know. I feel like for some reason I do feel like it's purposeful. I do feel like these people, they are way dumber than we think they are, but they're also smarter than we think they are. But they're not like this like weird deep state like we're controlling. But they do control everything. I don't believe a lot of the conspiracies. However, as far as politics goes, the reason why I'm opt out of all of it because I can't trust any of them. None of them. I don't care how good Bernie is or how bad. I don't care. Everything is like a chess game. everything. So yeah, all that kind of slip up stuff, maybe just he's an old fucking man, whatever it is. But there's people behind him. And the shit he says on the microphone, maybe some of it's improv, but I really don't think a lot of it is. All of them. Whenever Trump gets in front of a mic, it's like, he just said, a lot of it is him. The tweets are probably him. But there may be a chance, like there's like 9 people tweeting for him. There may be a chance that's happening. Just to put just disinformation and conflagration out there.
I don't believe it.
I know. I don't know for sure. But everything is calculated.
You know, he loves, that's when he goes to take a shit, that's what he does.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
That's what he tweets.
But I do feel like a lot of it's calculated for whatever reason. Like, again, the truth is Republicans, Democrats, they all get along. They all know each other. It's like a fucking game for them. So it very well may be they're just throwing it because they want this guy to get back in, because while Trump is the president, the one thing that has occurred, you could like him or hate him, I don't care what he did, what he didn't do. What he did do is distract the entire world from whatever else is happening on behind the scenes, whatever that is. Gold being stealing out of vaults, health, just like rights and privileges getting thrown into the fire, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I don't have any like speculation, but the one thing that is I am certain of is it is a distraction, and it's a distraction on purpose. That is true. So you can believe what you want to believe about the parties and the people, and you got to vote for this one or that one. I do believe, not like they're in cahoots, but they're in cahoots. It's a game. Politics is a game. It's money for them. It's a job, promotion, power. Everyone wants power. So we want the first woman president, the first black president, the first gay president. Whoever gets that job, they are scumbags. Whoever wants that job on some level, even though I like Bernie, you're a monster on some level.
Everyone's a scumbag.
Think about the kind of a person who wants the power.
I want the power.
Is a scumbag. What's the saying? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That will forever be. Carve that onto the surface of the planet when we nuke ourselves into extinction. That is what happened. Women.
I don't want to get nuked into extinction.
Well, maybe not. Hopefully not us. We'll die before that.
I want to die. I want to die like calmly,
like in bed, like bye, and then you just like fade away.
Yeah, or I don't know, like some.
I think dying, having sex is good.
But that could be like a massive heart attack. That could be weird.
It's gonna be for me. It's gonna be a massive heart attack no matter what I do. So I'd rather be having sex than eating cheese,
or both at the same time.
Yeah, if I'm eating cheese while having sex,
but it's a different plate of different cheeses,
like a French plate.
Yeah, so it's like,
was this the brie? Oh,
yeah, that's what killed him, was the fucking Munster.
The brie, it's French.
The brie.
I don't think Munster's French. You piece of shit.
I didn't say that.
How dare you?
I said a plate of cheese. I said like assorted cheeses. That's what I meant.
I said
Munster.
French plate.
I know
Never
you
mind.
did. You love the French.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching The Big Bucket Chicken. Check us out on Instagram at The Big Bucket of Chicken Podcast. And on Facebook, I'm going to post that video we just talked about. And maybe Kevin could learn how to use the Facebooks and post some stuff, too. You can do that. You can use the
I post things on Facebook.
Yeah, but I mean the Big Bucket Facebook. Like put the Joe Biden.
Oh, that thing. Okay.
Yeah, that thing.
Okay.
That thing that we use occasionally.
Hair 2000.
Woo! All right, thank you guys for watching. Have a good weekend. Peace.